more money too, Dan. I just don't have any.
Well, they said that, and that's why we're spending too much money. So currently, the time is 7:20. Why? Because the government says it's 7:20. It's actually 6:20.
So
anyway,
you don't.
Moving along.
To clarify, you just didn't like the change where they extended daylight savings time. You don't hate it altogether.
No, not at all. There's a great value in it. I understand that. But again, the government and the big government Republicans, this is when I started to hate Republicans, because all they cared about was how much money could be moved through this system. They don't care about you or I.
No.
Now, not to say I'm a conservative, not a Republican. Republicans are not conservatives anymore.
No.
And their whole motivation to change it back in 2005 or 6 was to get people to spend money. So that's all there is to it. There's no savings whatsoever. Anyway.
Well, no. I mean, there's only so much light in the day. That's just the way the world works.
Yeah, well.
You can't cheat Mother Nature. They just move the light to later in the day.
They've twisted the whole thing around.
Yeah,
anyway, to comment on Dan from Elk Grove's statement, it is not too late for him or anyone else to weigh in on that train wreck of a speech. Biden's speech was the only one in history that I can remember that both sides didn't stand up and applaud. There was nothing. He didn't try to unify on any level. It was an get off my lawn speech. It was an old man yelling at the moon, and he was totally amped up. But here's the thing. What Republicans don't seem to understand is this was ammunition literally dropped in their lap, like they get so much ammunition. This idiot meat is still pushing the element of unity and compromise. Now, with Biden basically saying it's my way or the highway, why would you bother to negotiate with someone who says, I don't want to negotiate with you? And that can be used against him. And who was it? Mike Johnson, who's been given a lot of credit for saying, oh, yeah, he was sitting there very patiently nodding his head. I don't think he understands this. I'm confident he doesn't understand this.
I thought he was nodding his head because he was falling asleep.
Well, what he should say is what I just said. There's no reason to negotiate with Joe Biden because he's not interested. He said so in his State of the Union speech. There's no other way to take that. And this should be the mantra from now until November. If Johnson thinks he can negotiate with Biden or the Democrats on any level, he's an idiot and should be removed.
Yeah. No, you can't compromise. It's ridiculous. Certain things can't
You know
be
who I would love to see in that seat?
How do you compromise on that? Well, we'll only close the border.
Can you imagine if Jim Jordan was sitting in the speaker's seat, how he would have reacted? He might have tore up that speech from Joe Biden. That would have been funny to see.
I can think of a couple other things that would be funny to see, but if I say them, I'll get in trouble. And I don't want to be in trouble, Dan. You know me. I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, but again, I wish Jim Jordan would have been there. That was the hope of those 8 that pulled that stunt. He would have been a fighter at least, but right now I have zero confidence in Mike Johnson moving forward.
Yeah. And on that note, we're out of time, and we're both thoroughly depressed.
I excel at this. I'm so good at this.
I wish we had more time. I mean, we could depress.
I have no friends.
All of Sacramento County could be depressed.
I'm working on it.
Thank you. Well, we have run overtime, Dan, so I will catch you tomorrow.
Right.
Take care.
Thanks, bud.
7:23, rain this morning, sunshine this afternoon.